Alright. Okay, so this is a trial run of the video that I've promised many people in MMA Guru's fucking chat, as well as MMA Guru himself, that I would make. Prediction video. This is my anonymous friend. So, first of all, really quick, because it seems like a lot of people lose money, and, you know, maybe I can help you out. But you know, I'll get to that at the end. Tell you about how I bet and which sites I use and why. But this is a prediction video, first of its kind for me. UFC 307, let's go.
Alright.
Starting with the early prelims, ending with the main event.
Okay, so who do you got for, let's see, Tim Means and Court McGee?
Alright, so Tim Means versus Court McGee is pretty much who wants to keep their job, you know, fight.
Did you want to talk about
What?
gambling advice and all that?
I just said I would talk about that at the end.
Oh, you gonna do that at the end? Alright.
Yeah.
Okay. Tim Means versus Court McGee, who you got?
Okay, so that I do know.
Yeah.
So, let me explain why Court McGee seems to be a good underdog pick, but isn't, and Tim Means is the fucking, like, definitely gonna win. Or, well, could go either way, but honestly, like, you know, people think that, you know, like, you know, Tim Means is completely washed. And, you know, like, he was knocked out by Ihor. He's been submitted, you know, but he also has knockout power, and Court McGee has never finished, aside from his first UFC fight in 2010, has never finished anybody. He's on a 3-fight losing streak, including a first-round knockout to Matt Brown, nothing to be ashamed of, but before that, a first-round knockout to Jeremiah Wells, which is a sickening disgrace. I'd say that, you know, the altitude, people have been making a huge deal about the altitude, right? The altitude of the arena in Salt Lake City, I actually looked at this. It's about 4,700 feet above sea level. So compared to the UFC Apex, which itself is 2,400 feet above sea level, which is over twice. You know, it's the altitude is it's not meaningless, but it's almost meaningless, especially in a fight like this, where you got two guys who are basically at the end of their careers. I think that Tim Means' knockout of Andre Fialho in this fight before last, and the fact that he has several finishes throughout his career, whereas Court McGee has yet to finish a single fighter, aside from, you know, someone whose name means nothing, back in 2010. He's chinnable, he's completely slow at this point in his career, and, you know, his jiu-jitsu means virtually nothing. I mean, if he gets his first ever, or his second ever submission after his first fight 14 years later, and what arguably maybe his last fight in the UFC, I will probably fund the gambling of some of you, at the very least. Like, you know, the way Mickey Mays does. But anyway, Tim Means. I'm taking Tim Means. Yeah, I just think he has more power. I think he's probably going to retire if he wins, whereas Court McGee is just going to stay in the game, Tony Ferguson style, until his wife and family can't take it anymore.
Okay, so. What about Ovince St. Preux or Ryan Spann?
So this is another one where, I mean, Ovince St. Preux, it's sad. I mean, you know, he's been, he just shouldn't be fighting anymore. I mean, though he did win his last fight by split decision against, you know, one of the lowest fight IQ people I've ever, you know, seen in the octagon. And, you know, I mean, second only to fucking Leon Edwards. But also...
Kennedy and
yeah,
Shu.
yep, and Shu, yes.
Yeah.
Now, before that, I think his last win before that was a split decision win against the washed up as fuck Mauricio Rua.
Yeah.
If I'm not.
Yeah, that's true. Split decision.
Yeah, now, Ovince St. Preux has been knocked out time after time, except by John Jones, which is interesting. But, you know, apparently, according to Jones, that's the one fight he didn't get fucked up before, and that's why it was his most boring. But regardless, you know, Ryan Spann knocked out Dominic Reyes, but that was when Dominic Reyes was just, like, devoid of any belief in himself. Like, that was the lowest point in his career. Now that he's back, you know, I mean, you know, Ryan Spann is... And also, Ryan Spann earlier this year fought Bogdan Guskov, still ranked. And Guskov being an underdog, I had Guskov to beat Ryan Spann. He did. Guskov's now in the rankings. Ryan Spann is floating outside of them. Despite all of that, Ryan Spann just being younger, having knockout power, Ovince St. Preux being virtually helpless against anybody who literally doesn't just give themselves over to the loss. I have to take Ryan Spann.
Okay.
Hopefully OSP retires after this fight.
So the next one is Esparza and Pennington.
Carla Esparza, yeah. So Carla Esparza is the former strawweight champion. Tecia Pennington is the wife of Raquel. And being, hey, some money. But anyway, so yeah, this is my first video, so you know,
some water.
Yeah,
Mexico.
My friend's choking. My girlfriend dropped off some cash, and I'm smoking a cigarette in my anyway, fucking no more biography.
In the penthouse.
No penthouse. No, but my 3 apartments. This is my work studio, or you can tell by all the shit on the walls and whatever. But anyway.
Yeah.
So Tecia Pennington. So here's the thing, right? Carla Esparza, former champion. You know, people. People act like she, you know, is back or whatever. Like, you know, the fact remains that she won the championship in what Michael Bisping and anyone else who knows the UFC would rate the #1 worst UFC fight ever. Definitely worst championship fight, where her and Nami Yunus basically, like, you know, danced around in circles for 5 rounds, and because Nami Yunus was the champion, the judges were so disgusted that they handed it to Esparza. Really, it was an unscorable fight. Before that, she had a title shot and was knocked out by Joanna, Polish last name, the devil-looking bitch. I always forget how to pronounce it. I know her fucking career. I just forget.
It's hard to say her name, huh?
Yeah, exactly. I forget how to pronounce her name. Jesus.
Yeah.
I don't want to look like a casual. But no, yeah, Zhang Weili, you know, basically exposed Carla Esparza completely, and that was back in November 2022. She hasn't fought since. She was never particularly impressive. Now, Tecia Pennington, on the other hand, you know, she has 2 losses coming into this fight, both by split decision, Tabitha Ricci and Mackenzie Dern. I personally feel that Mackenzie Dern lost that fight. You know, I think that...
Dern. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they just gave it to her because she's better looking and has more followers.
I mean, yeah, and she... Well,
Same with Tabitha Ricci, right? That one was pretty.
Well, Tabitha Ricci did a little bit better, but regardless, those losses are by split decision are of a much higher quality, honestly, than anything Carla Esparza has been up against. I mean, except Zhang Weili, who finished her. You know, like her and Rose Namajunas just refused to engage with each other, so there's no telling. But before that, Tecia Pennington, she beat Angela Hill, and that's a good win. That's aged well. She knocked out Sam Hughes. You know, I mean, she has what? Let's see. She, I mean, you know, she was on a tear of unanimous decision losses, including to Weili, but at least she went the distance with her. And this is going way back.
She fought Andrade.
I mean, she did fight Andrade. Andrade couldn't finish her. Zhang Weili could not finish her. Rose couldn't finish her.
This girl's pretty good.
Marina Rodriguez beat her, which is a little disappointing, but regardless, you know, she finished Sam Hughes. You know, I mean, doctor stoppage, but, you know, finish is a finish, as we saw last weekend.
Yeah.
And, you know, the Angela Hill win really, I mean, honestly, Carla Esparza against Angela Hill, I take Angela Hill. You know, and Tecia's beat her. I think Tecia won the fight with Mackenzie Dern. Tabitha Ricci, you know, it's, I mean, you could score that fight a few different ways, but I just think Tecia's faster, okay, and she's faster and more explosive. She's fighting, I mean, she doesn't want to disappoint her wife, and, you know, and basically she is, I feel, the better fighter. And I don't like the inactivity of Esparza.
All right, so what about Hernandez versus Hubbard?
Alexander Hernandez, along with Paulo Costa, but Hernandez more than anything might piss me off more than any fighter in the UFC. He started his career coming in cocky. He had an early first round knockout. Ever since then, he's been making excuses and fucking, you know, basically just unimpressive completely. He alternates between featherweight and lightweight. You know, and some people think he's better at lightweight because of the one victory against Jim Miller. But, you know, the truth is that, you know, he was submitted, he was submitted by Marcano in 2022, and I can't remember if that was at featherweight or lightweight. I mean, but regardless, Billy.
Looks like he only loses to pretty.
Billy Quarantillo knocked him out. He when he went down, he beat Jim Miller. Which, I mean, you know, I mean, he was knocked out by Drew Dober at lightweight. Like, you know, he's got one.
Dude, he beat Dariush, man.
He beat Dariush.
That was a long time ago.
That was his first fight. He came, like I said,
win.
Yeah, that was his debut. He came out hot. He knocked out Dariush, but Dariush has proven himself to be, you know, just completely, you know, undeserving of, you know, a place in the rankings of lightweight. Like, you know, Saryukian proved that, and he needs to be fed to Pimlet, honestly. I mean, I'd like to see that before Pimlet Marcano. But anyway, you know, Hernandez lost to an aging Donald Cerrone by knockout. And you know, basically, you know, what did it for me was his last fight, a split decision loss to Damon Jackson. Now, I had Damon Jackson in that fight, just, you know, like, you know, never bet on emotion, but I did, and it worked out great. In that last fight. Now, in this fight, Austin Hubbard, who is not particularly an impressive fighter yet, at least, though, you know, he does have knockout power. He's, you know, this will be his, you know, counting his Ultimate Fighter split decision win. This is going to be his 4th UFC fight. He was submitted by Kurt Hollabaugh, which is kind of pathetic, but at the same time, you know, Figiak, however the fuck you say it, that was definitely Figlak. Is it Figlak? God damn. I knew that too. It's like, it's alright. My camera presence will improve. Maybe over the course of this video, or maybe it'll take 1 or 2 more. The fuck do you want from me? I was supposed to get a haircut before this also. Anyway, yeah, no, so Hubbard did what? Hubbard, yeah, 29-28 against Figlak. He, on strike, like, he 3 of 7 takedowns, which he didn't do much with, but his strikes were more powerful. He, like I said, he has knockout power. Has he proven that yet in the UFC? No. Does he necessarily need to knock out Alexander Hernandez? No.
What are you basing that off of, that he has knockout?
His regional stuff earlier, LFA, and also, I mean, you know, also the fact, I mean, you know, when I say he has knockout power, I mean, Figlak is fast enough.
Champion of LFA, whatever that's worth.
I mean, whatever that's worth. Champion of LFA. I mean, you know, LFA, Cage Warriors. If you've been champion of one of those, like, you know, you're in a good spot heading into the UFC.
Yeah, he does have some knockouts on his regional.
Yeah. Hernandez, you know, like I said, he came out hot. You know, he's cocky. He gasses out towards the end. He won the first round against Damon Jackson, and then Damon Jackson turned things around. Hernandez, at lightweight is, you know, I mean, he caught Jim Miller, you know, with a lot of output right away, and then Jim Miller couldn't quite bring it back, but I don't think Hernandez is, I think his day is over.
So you're going with Hubbard?
Going with Austin Hubbard.
Alright. So what is the next one is, Cesar Almeida and Ihor Potieria. You're probably going with Almeida, right?
Of course I'm going to go with Cesar Almeida, because he is currently training with Alex Pereira, which that in itself...
Well, he looked pretty good against Kopylov.
He looked good against Kopylov, although that fight...
he has no...
That fight was... Grappling. Actually, no, he did not look good against Kopylov.
But his striking was good.
His striking is fire. That fight was only a split decision because that... And also because that card, let's face it, that was one of 3 corrupt split decisions that should have been unanimous.
So it kind of comes down to, like, do you think Potieria is going to grapple him?
I think that Potieria does not have... After I saw what Michel Pereira did to Ihor Potieria, I think that Potieria is to be ragdolled by anyone he's fed to. Especially a powerful middleweight, you know.
Yeah, I think Almeida will probably knock him out.
I mean, yes. I think it will be a finish.
Is that your...
Yeah. Oh, sorry, my Starbucks is here.
Oh, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Sorry, dude.
Oh, wow. That's alright. At least I got one drink.
Nice, man.
Alright. How do we edit that out?
Fuck it, dude.
Fuck it, let's not. Yeah, fuck it. Alright, so the Uber Eats driver that just brought me my Starbucks.
No, it was my fault.
Yeah, alright.
So you're going with Almeida, right?
Yeah, Almeida. I mean, you know, the Kopylov fight, I mean, he came up against Kopylov, and who knew Kopylov could grapple?
Because Kopilov's like one of the better strikers, right? And
he was, but
he had to grapple him.
Yeah.
Although
Kopylov lost to Anthony Hernandez, and it was a grappling situation that caused that. So Kopilov's one of those fighters that improves with every fight. Yeah. I feel like Almeida...
Kopylov hurt him on the feet in the first round of that.
He did.
Almeida was taking control of the fight in the second and third round until Kopylov took him down.
Kopylov took him down. I mean, it was
camped on him.
It was a 30-27 in the way I scored it.
Yeah.
But it was a split decision because of the corruption throughout that card.
Yeah, it was weird scoring on that card.
I mean, he knocked out Dylan Budkin in his UFC debut. He clearly has knockout power, and and he's one of he's like he's up there with with Pereira. I mean, Ihor Potieria. I mean, he's got 1 win in the UFC. I think. I think his 1 win is over that boxer that never should have been signed, and even that was, and he couldn't even make weight for that. Oh no, he's got Oh, I'm sorry. He knocked out old man Mauricio Rua in 2023.
Bird check or whatever.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
He fought Sadolski.
No, that was lost to really good people like.
I mean, he's like, yeah. I mean, he's like, yeah. I mean, Carla. I mean, losing to the best of the best before they were ranked, like Carlos Ulberg's first round knockout against him.
Is that Bellato?
Rodolfo Bellato. That loss does not age well, especially because it's a knockout. Robert Brysick.
That guy is like,
the Robert Brysick win by decision is almost pathetic, given that all Robert Brysick is a boxer. I mean, you know, so. Like, and the fact that Ihor Potieria was coming down from 205, missed weight.
You know what? He almost had that guy Bellato beat, actually, and then he like.
Yeah, but I mean, dude,
kind of fumbled it at the end, right?
Dude, it took Michel Pereira less than a minute to knock him on his back, do a backflip on top, onto him, and then pick him up and submit him by standing guillotine. Cesar Almeida knocks him out for sure. So I got Almeida for sure.
Then Marina Rodriguez versus Iasmin Lucindo.
So this one is almost the fucking coin toss. This one's almost a coin toss. I'm gonna say now Marina Rodriguez, like, yeah, she took Jessica Andrade to a split decision at 300, and you know, but. I'll be honest, Iasmin Lucindo's, I mean, submitting Polyana Viana, what's that worth? It's worth something. You know, she lost her debut fight against Uregui, but, you know, to be honest, I mean, like, you know, she seems to be improving with every fight. She's, what is she, 22 years old? I mean, you know, and Marina Rodriguez, I've never felt that she deserved any kind of, you know, I mean, she didn't deserve the Andrade fight. I think that, you know, that was, and she fought hard. She did as well as she possibly could have done, but the fact that was a split decision was nonsense. She knocked out Michelle Waterson Gomez, you know, at the tail end of her career, and I mean, for the Amanda Lemos KO'd her, she was, you know. Yeah,
she beat Yang Zhao, man.
Yeah, by split decision. I mean, you know, and that's 2022. I know certain women can fight till their burger into their 40s, but I mean, Marina Rodriguez is no Angela Hill.
So you got
Iasmin Lucindo.
Okay, what about, this is a good one, Wonder Boy versus Joaquin Buckley.
So, taking Joaquin Buckley because, I mean, honestly, I mean, you know, for no better reason than he won't allow Stephen Thompson the space he needs, you know, to establish a bladed stance and strike the way that he likes to strike. Yeah. Joaquin Buckley knows when to shoot takedowns. He's not going to be stupid about it. But I also think that he may also just come out swinging, you know, and try to overwhelm with strikes.
He's got a lot of power.
He has a tremendous amount of power.
And he's got really good takedowns.
When the Vicente Luque fight against Buckley happened, you know, I took Buckley. Everyone was talking about, you know, the tight guard of Vicente Luque, and all I had to do was run back, you know, the Jeff Neal fight where Jeff Neal broke through his tight guard with punches, and you know, and then add to that the fact that Buckley knows takedowns, and you have his victory over Vicente Luque where he took him to the ground and, you know, just fucking laid punches on him.
He did the same thing to Ruziboev.
Well, Ruziboev shouldn't be fighting at 170 given that he's 6'5". However, yes, he didn't finish Ruziboev.
He almost finished him though. That could have been called off in the last round.
Regardless, I think Joaquin Buckley is definitely going to beat Stephen Thompson. I think
Thompson.
Ruziboev should stay at 185, but I think Buckley has been on a tear, and I think he's improving with every fight, and I think that...
And Thompson's 41 years old.
He is 41 years old. He's not, you know, he's a Glover Teixeira 41, not a Tony Ferguson.
He's really fit, and...
He
I don't
is.
think he's taking too much damage. But
he hasn't. Well, you know, he hasn't. But at the same time, I mean,
still 40. And Buckley's on a big winning streak.
Buckley's
also really, really big and strong for
Well, yeah, that's because he used to fight at middleweight, and after a knockout from Chris Curtis, he decided to go down.
I think he's gonna win.
Yeah, Buckley's got this. Buckley, you know what? Buckley's got this. That's a
It's a pretty good one.
That's as close to a lock on these Ryan Spann.
There's more locks coming.
Yeah, Ryan Spann, Cesar Almeida, and Buckley would be as close to the locks as.
What about Dolidze and Kevin?
So, this one's tricky. Now, Roman Dolidze can be sloth-like, slow, and
striking's not great.
Well, the thing is about that and his grappling. I mean, Roman Dolidze has his. I mean, he knocked out Jack Hermanson, for fuck's sake. I mean, if he can land a big slow overhand shot like that. I mean, then again though, Oleg Stachuk did that to Kevin Holland in Holland's last fight, which was also at 185, and Holland fucking immediately Holland's fight IQ is not to be ignored. Like, he fucking
that was a pretty slick move he pulled on Olin.
That armbar was and I had on in that fight. I also had him against MVP, which Holland has a tendency to rage quit if he feels like he's outpointed going into the third and there's not enough time left.
He does that,
Yeah, it's almost like I didn't want to win, so fuck this.
He was acting really weird in his fight against Wonder Boy. Like, he kept letting him up and shit.
I mean, Holland, if he body triangles Dolidze on the ground, and then just does nothing with it.
How do you see that he will beat Dolidze? Because I don't think he's going to beat him with grappling.
Well, the thing is, Dolidze could take it to the ground, and I think that's. I mean, I don't think he's good.
Holland is real good on the ground.
I mean, he is, but at the same time, so it could go one of two ways, right? Holland makes this, they keep it on the feet, right? Holland knows how to use.
He has the advantage if they're on the feet. Like, he's got.
If they're on the feet, he has, he knows how to use his reach. Yeah, exactly. He knows how to use his reach to establish distance.
He's definitely faster than Dolidze on the feet.
He's faster than Dolidze in general. Now, if Dolidze gets him to the ground, Holland can scramble. I mean, Holland can scramble and find submissions. Dolidze, what was the last submission Dolidze got? It's probably, if ever. I mean, he's got respectable knockouts. Hermanson being the main one. But I mean, his other knockouts: Phil Hawes, Kyle Dawkins, just like everybody in there.
He doesn't have as many submissions as you would think.
No, he's got 0 in the UFC, and that's the thing. Like, his grappling may be, as good as whatever, but he's a Georgian, right?
Yeah.
He's, if Merab was older, fatter, and fucking slower,
Yeah.
But
So you think Holland's gonna win?
I'm taking Holland.
Are you gonna put this on your parlays?
Absolutely.
You are.
Absolutely. Which I will sum all that shit up at the end of this. But all right. So
next one is Kayla Harrison versus Ketlen Vieira.
All right. I mean, this is like
This is the lock of the card.
We might as well have skipped this one. I mean, Ketlen.
Just look at a picture of Kayla Harrison and. That's all you need to do.
Kayla Harrison. I mean, it's perhaps born Kyle Harrison, perhaps not. But anyway,
she's a shield maiden.
She's very, very, very brutish and vicious.
She's on a different level from the rest of these female fighters.
Of course,
she's like basically if Brock Lesnar was a female.
If Brock Lesnar was a female, he would be Kayla Harrison.
Yeah. So this one is
or actually, what's that bitch that just got cut? Hannah Goldie in her last fight, who got she showed up with Kayla Harrison's build with no fucking skill to back it up, and then
Kayla Harrison has
Harrison's
too.
I mean, the judo that she has, like to be able to work judo into mixed martial arts is actually not the easiest thing, no matter how good you are. And she just, I mean, she's capable of ragdolling people now. Whereas Ketlen Vieira, though she is ranked second in bantamweight, I mean, you know, she lost the split decision to Raquel Pennington, who, as a champion, is
She's got no
favorite
chance.
then. She has no chance.
She has no chance.
No chance.
There's nothing
Split
more that needs to
decision.
be said
Yeah.
about that.
And just to what was that 300 fight that
She beat
won?
Holly Holm.
I know, I remember too.
I
Yeah,
remember
with
that.
second round submission, Holly Holm, you know, and she beat Aston Ladd as a the thing is her MMA record 17-1 MMA.
I think it's PFL
Pacheco took
female
her.
fighters,
Aspen Ladd's Aspen Ladd's a very respectable win in the PFL.
Yeah, somebody beat her in PFL.
Yeah, I mean by decision, and that was a title fight.
I hate to see what she looks like.
Yeah, well, good thing we don't have to.
Yeah.
This is a UFC fight. So.
All right, Jose Aldo versus Mario Bautista.
All right, this is where this is probably the fight where.
It's a tough one to
So
call.
I ate my balls when I picked Martinez to beat Jose Aldo, and the thing is though, Aldo staying at 135, you know, as the king of featherweight 145 division. The older he gets, cutting weight, you know, may or may not benefit him. If it does, you know, he's the only. I mean, you know, Figueiredo going up to 135, Aldo going up to 145, you know, those moves make sense. I mean, look how fast Figueiredo's in the top 5 at bantamweight. I mean, Jose
Aldo's been a bantamweight for a while now.
He has, and yet after the Marab loss, you know, it took 2 years to come back, and they gave him a ranked opponent, but that opponent was ranked 15th.
The guy who had won 6 fights in a row, just like Bautista.
And now they're giving him an opponent that is Bautista's ranked, but he's ranked behind
They're
him.
trying to get one of these young fighters to make a name off Jose Aldo. But he's
I
not
mean,
having it.
I don't know if that's true. I mean, I think that they may just be giving him respectful layups or trying to, because I mean, you know, how much longer can you fight? I mean, do you really believe that Jose Aldo at bantamweight is fighting for the belt?
I think they're disrespecting him by giving him these low-level fights.
Yeah, but they just don't want to see him, you know.
I think they're figuring if this guy Bautista or Martinez would have beat him, then they have like a lot of made a name for these new guys. But
I mean, you know, I know a lot of people don't realize, like, you know, that Bautista and Martinez that there is a difference.
Yeah,
I mean,
they're like,
you know,
pretty bottom of the rankings.
No, I said there is a difference, dude. I mean, you know, it's like, yeah, both 6-fight win streaks, and then Aldo stopped that. But I mean, you know, I mean, with Bautista's jiu-jitsu is a lot better than Martinez. Martinez,
he has a lot of submission.
He's got 3 straight submissions. He's on a 6-fight win streak. I mean, now he beat. He
didn't look that great.
He beat a Ricky
Simone, right?
No, I mean, he looked good enough. But the thing about that is that Ricky Simone, I think Ricky Simone was broken by Song Yadong in his fight before that, and has never looked the same since.
So,
Damon Blackshear, that I rate that win a little bit just because, you know, I mean, Damon Blackshear's method of winning is literally to just shoot takedown. He fights almost like a Derek Brunson, you know, and you know, if you can strike, like, you know, and if you can strike, you know, if you can stuff takedowns, you know, like, you could basically beat Damon Blackshear. The thing is that, like, you know, Mario Bautista,
Jose Aldo's probably not going to be shooting takedowns on him.
No, he won't be shooting takedowns. So one thing about Jose Aldo is that he has a leg reach that is 1 inch shorter than Stipe Miocic's.
Leg reach, really fast hands, good combinations.
He does. I mean, he's slower than he used to be. I just think that Bautista's faster. There's no way around that now.
Bautista's faster than
I think Bautista's faster than Aldo in his ability to move around. Now,
he's quicker on his feet or his hands are faster.
I think that he's quicker on his feet. The thing is that Jose Aldo has like, as he's gotten older, he's become aware of his limitations.
You think he can check Aldo's low kicks?
I think that if he's smart, I think that he will try to stay clear of Aldo's low kicks, or if he has to eat one of them,
he'll try to take him down, and then that'll stop the low kicks.
I don't know if he'll try to take him down. I think that I think that like the way around Aldo's low kicks is to come in with combinations, and like almost like a hit and run style, you know. And not necessarily point fight, but just come in, open up, go back out. You know, I mean, because Aldo's established this almost like as he's gotten older, he's established this almost like stand in place and strike from the spot that he's in. Like, he really doesn't do a lot of movement in the octagon, even against Martinez. Martinez was the one like coming in from different angles and just taking shots.
He was definitely more active. He was throwing a lot more than Martinez.
Yeah, very true. Because when every time Martinez got close to him, Aldo snapped, snapped kicks, you know, landed shots,
ripping vicious hooks.
But his method of not gassing out now that he's older is to not move too much around the cage.
Not bounce around on the outside is what you're saying.
Exactly, and
so he's more efficient with his movement.
So basically his opponents have to come to him, and then his he deceives them with how fast his strikes are.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling that Bautista has the ability to find. Now, I could be wrong.
I don't see it, dude. I don't see this guy beating Jose Aldo.
I could be wrong on this. I mean, Bautista could try to rush in with combinations and just get chinned by Aldo, but Aldo has not finished.
Because the way I look at it is the only people that beat Jose Aldo are really top level guys like Potieria.
I mean,
I just don't see. Maybe Bautista's.
I mean, the thing is,
good, but
Bautista, he
hasn't proven that he's on that level.
He has not proven that he's worthy of a fight against Jose Aldo. That is true.
He won 6 in a row. I mean, I can see why.
6 in a row, yeah.
Why he got the fight, but I just don't think he's proven. Because Aldo has wins over Vieira and Munoz and Font.
Yeah,
those are all ranked
Font and Vieira ranked higher than Bautista.
Munoz is out of the rankings.
Yeah, Munoz is trash.
And look at the people that Aldo lost to.
How did he
lost to Marlon Moraes?
Marlon Moraes.
But he lost to Volk, Piotr Jan, Merab, and Max Holloway.
I think the Volk loss was his last fight at 145. I mean, he knocked out. He beat
Jeremy Stevens and Moicano.
Yeah, he beat Moicano at featherweight.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the way Aldo looked against Martinez is I think he's gonna win, but.
I mean,
I don't gamble. I don't bet on this stuff, so.
I do, and and which is why after we get through these last few fights, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about why even if Jose Aldo does lose, win. Yeah, I plan on still making money. Yeah, right. Removing the house ads.
Okay, so you're picking Bautista.
I am taking Bautista.
But you're not too sure about it.
Well, I'm gonna give it a 55%.
Okay.
To Aldo's 45%.
All right.
And if he does, if Bautista wins, it's gonna be more than likely by decision, unless freak occurrence somehow. Yeah, I mean, you never know, but that's why I don't bet on over unders. Yeah. But I am gonna take Bautista to win.
Okay, what about Pennington versus Pena?
So, I do not personally understand Julianna Pena being an underdog. And by the way, I don't look at betting lines until after I've made my picks. And I know a lot of people say that, but then you watch some people's videos and their entire video is scrolling through the betting lines
the Weasel or whatever.
Yeah, yes, people like the Weasel now. MMA Guru, who's who's like me, does predictions for every fight on every card, okay, without selectively doing picks, trying to claim.
Do you look at the odds before you put your parlays in though?
Well, you have to while you're betting, you can't help but see the odds. Does that throw me? Usually not, because I've already done my research, made my decisions. Now, Julianna Pena submitted Amanda Nunes. That happened, and that is something that is beyond significant because because even in the rematch, which is, by the way, like, I mean, you know, female MMA is hard to watch, hard to get through most of the time. It's a little bit hard to predict.
But I still think, hopefully, Pena wins.
What I'm saying is that Julianna Pena was part of one of the definitely most exciting female MMA fight, which is the second fight between her and Amanda Nunes. Yeah. One of the most violent, brutal. I mean, she almost, you know, Amanda Nunes' arm was bent and breaking like 7 or 8 times in arm bars. I mean, Pena is, you know, definitely. Now, Raquel Pennington. I mean, that Meyer, like
37 minutes.
Oh, don't worry about it. My friend's worried about the time, but, you know, whatever. It's my first video. It's going to be sloppy and stupid. And, like, didn't get a haircut. Fucking Starbucks guy dropped shit. No, it's all good. I'm not worried.
Pena.
So, yeah, I'm going to take Pena. Just, I mean, you know, like, Raquel, see, it's you know, it's gonna be an interesting night for the Pennington spouses because
hopefully they both lose.
No,
you picked Tecia.
I think Tecia wins now. Like, what?
Do you think Raquel will beat her up when they get home if she loses?
Well, I don't know if she, I mean, you know, despite the weight difference, I don't know if she can. I mean, you know.
I think she's a.
I mean, no, I think what's gonna happen is
Tecia Pennington like 5'1" or something.
Yeah, Tecia Pennington is a strawweight.
Raquel's gonna get beat by Pena and go home and take it out on Tecia and whoop her.
Well, I don't know. I like, you know, I don't think there's necessarily. I have no cause to say that there's domestic violence in the Pennington household. I mean, I feel like it would.
Statistical probability of that. But
yeah, that
possibility.
Yeah, that. I don't know. I mean, it'll probably be like, you know, it'll probably be like, I mean, Raquel will probably want to you know, but, you know, she's developed methods of not, you know, engaging in violence towards her spouse, and probably converting it psychologically into, you know, being happier for her spouse. You know?
So one of them's gonna win, but it's not gonna be Raquel.
No, it won't be Raquel. Right. I see Julianna Pena taking the belt and then losing it, losing it to Kayla Harrison down the road.
For sure.
Probably, yes. Now, main event.
Oh, you got a big surprise here, right?
Yeah, this is you know, this is where most people will agree with me because unless you really, really believe that this is the day you're gonna get lucky. You're making straight bets, which means you're already stupid, and you either know fuck all about MMA, UFC, or even just combat athletics at all.
Or you're related to Roundtree.
Or you're or sad to say you're a relative of Roundtree, which I honestly.
He's alright.
I mean, dude, look, like, you know, the guy's father died and all that, and I have sympathy for him, especially because now he's getting fed to Pereira. I mean, you know.
Hey, but you're not worried about his secret move?
Oh yeah, his secret move that he announced at the super thrilling press conference.
The media day?
Yeah, media day was just a fucking, like, I mean, you know, boring. I watched it with the fucking eyes of a man returning from Vietnam.
Yeah.
Like, 1,000-yard fucking, but anyway.
So Pereira.
So it's, KO. I mean, here's the thing,
think Roundtree makes it out of the first round?
I think that, so, I mean, since Perez fought championship fights at 205, it's either been first or second round knockouts. Now, when Jamal Hill was gonna fight Khalil Roundtree earlier in the year, and Khalil Roundtree basically snitched on himself, like
that was actually cool that he did that. I respect him for that.
I mean,
and I actually, you know, I will say this about Roundtree. I actually don't think he I almost believe him with his story, because if he was really taking steroids, why would you tell yourself like that?
Yeah, definitely, but he does have a bit of a snitch mentality, according to Sean Strickland, who I believe.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
what Strickland said about it?
Yeah, he took it to.
Called him a snitch.
He basically took some.
I feel like that's not being a snitch.
Well, no, it was.
Though.
No, he wasn't. No, not about that. He was. There was some thing at a gym where like Strickland and this female fighter were like making some kind of joke. Khalil was showing her a wrestling move, and she made some obvious joke about sexual harassment. Like she's making the joke, laughing, and then he, this is all according to Sean Strickland, allegedly, right? Strickland said that Roundtree reported it to the UFC. You know, basically,
maybe he was really worried about it.
I mean,
he doesn't. So he doesn't have a good sense of humor.
No sense of humor.
Whatever. That doesn't matter for his fight.
I mean, no, it doesn't. I mean, although he's, he seems to even lose faith in himself as he continued to speak at the press conference. I mean, it's hard for me to believe that Khalil Roundtree thinks he has a chance. I mean, that's not to say that he's not gonna.
Do you think he makes it out of round 1?
That is, so at 6'1", right? I mean, the last time Pereira fought somebody at 6'1", it was Strickland, who didn't make it out of round 1. Now, that's not to say that there isn't. There's 2 Stricklands, and it's before and after Pereira. Dude, Roundtree
keeps his hands up when he fights.
I mean, Roundtree is even more of only a pure striker than Jamal Hill. I mean, Jamal Hill is arrogant. I'm gonna stand and strike with this dude. It's like people need to stop trying to prove themselves at 205. It's like you get your title shot against Pereira. Like, don't be a dumbass.
Right away.
Shit, maybe shoot a double leg, maybe not. I mean, I do believe that down the road, Ankalaev does take the belt off Pereira, but that's for another day. Alex Pereira is going to absolutely finish Khalil Roundtree. Does Khalil Roundtree make it to a second round? I mean, if he runs in circles around the cage, possibly. But, I mean, you're going to have a ref in there telling him to work.
He's going to go for it.
He's going to go for it. I mean, I almost don't believe that he won't at least try to clinch. Once he realizes once he eats a couple fucking leg kicks that, I mean, can Roundtree, have we seen him check a leg kick?
I don't know.
I mean, Dustin Jacoby arguably beat him. It took him, his fight with Anthony Smith was, Smith had a couple of moments against him, and if Anthony Smith has a couple of moments against you, like, you shouldn't be in the top 15. The fact that you're getting a title shot is a gift and a curse.
Yeah.
But, shorter reach, nowhere near the power, and, fighting, basically the same way as he continues to, lambaste the press with, that, he needs everyone to know that he won't be shooting takedowns, so, is that his way of...
I don't get why they do that, why they put their game plan out like that, but
Maybe he's a treacherous fuck, and then the first thing we see him do is shoot a takedown. Yeah, he's been training wrestling and jiu-jitsu secretly. I don't think even that matters.
He doesn't have enough time to get good at it. Anyway.
I think it's over for Roundtree in probably the first round. But once again, I don't do over/under bets, so.
Oh, you should talk about your what gambling
sites you like. Okay, so. Just so we know, I'm taking Pereira for the main event, because I'm, because I don't have, I don't have barfly larva in my fucking brain. So, alright, a little bit about, how I gamble, how I make money, which I do. So, first of all online casinos, sports betting sites cheat, aside from 2, which are Kirgo.com and BetUS.com. Okay? Now, if you want to know more about how and why those 2 casinos stand in their own category, as well as just generally how a lot of the online casinos that a lot of you have probably been using cheat, I suggest Mickey Mays either his own YouTube page or specifically his interviews on the Connect with Johnny Mitchell podcast. Mickey Mays is, for those of you that don't know who that is, it's MickieMase. He will break down a lot, or he does break down a lot of, what I'm alluding to. But the other thing is when you're dealing with the, when you're dealing with a card, right, a UFC card, for example, MMA, you're talking about combat sports. This isn't a team sport where, you have, soccer. Soccer's the only other thing I bet on, which I make more money from than MMA. And, the reason for that is that 11 players on each team, a lot of, there's a lot, that can go freakishly wrong or right, depending, in an MMA fight. Weird things can happen. Upsets happen, and the thing is, parlays are really the only way to consistently make money the way that I see it, okay? So, in other words, you've, what they call the Dre curse, or, Aiden Ross's stupid ass betting $21,000 on Leon Edwards. That's a straight bet. A straight bet is, I have $100 and I think that, whatever. I think that Alex Pereira is going to be Khalil Roundtree. Now, that's probably a safe straight bet, but at minus 500, like, your $100, like, you're basically betting $100 to make whatever. It's straight bets on favorite, on, fighters that are favorites. They don't pay out very much, and, if you're betting on an underdog, there are several upsets that happen, but often there are reasons why a fighter is an underdog too, in terms of odds making. Either way, straight bets are stupid. I don't like over-under bets, given that, Angela Hill, for example, just got her first submission, at 39 or 40 years old recently. I think it was her fight before last. Before, you could look at her record before that and you could count on an Angela Hill fight, win or lose, going the distance, right? Everyone who bet that just got shocked immediately. Now, what you can do by parlaying, for those of you who don't know what a parlay is, basically, you're betting on multiple fights in one single bet. So it allows you to put less money down and win more. Now, of course, if one of the fights or fighters that you pick to win loses, then your whole parlay is fucked. So I like to lay several parlays, a few with the entire card, my picks for the entire card, and then a few where I'm leaving off certain fights that I'm not so sure of. But before any of that, what I do is I lay a round-robin parlay. What a round-robin parlay is basically you select your 5 to 6, most confident picks, right? And you parlay them, you select round robin, right? And then, for example, you make a 4-way round robin parlay, right? Now, that's going to cost you, what it costs you, and it's going to pay you out more. But what that's doing is it's taking, of those 6 picks, it's taking them and making every combination of 4 out of those 6 picks, right? Now, if those picks are the locks that you believe that they are, or even if only 5 out of 6 of them are, what you're doing is you're betting yourself so that, betting yourself so that, at the very least you will break even, plus, some scraps, right? I've never not broken even. Year to date, UFC, I've actually done really well. I swept 303. and made, what did I make on UFC? 70, I went back and looked at the exact numbers, 74,200 something. Yeah. But regardless, right, like, round robin parlay down first, then parlays, okay, for the rest of the card. That's how I bet. That's all I bet.
You have a round robin, right? No.
Sure.
You don't need to hit every single pick like it's a parlay?
Well, you don't, because your round robin parlay is making like, so for example, right, you can, I mean, now on BetUS, for example, you can use up to, I believe it's up to 7 fights or, games or whatever to round robin, and you can round robin them anywhere from 2 to all the way to 6 if you have 7. Now, the reason that you want to do, now you can, it'll show you, like, what, which 3, 4, 5, 6 way round robin pays the most.
Obviously the one with the most underdogs pays the most.
Well, no, because it's the same, what you're doing is you're making a parlay with the same fighters on them. But it's like, okay, let's say you have 7 fights, right? Yeah. Do you want every combination of those 7, do you want every combination of 3 or every combination of 4? Usually it's going to be every combination of 4 that pays the most, because that's
you have to hit all 4 on the round robin.
Yeah, but you have 7 fighters, so let's say only 6 out of 7, let's say one of those loses, right? There are still going to be combinations of 4
that hit
from your 7 that, yeah. So it's
many combinations of 4 are there on a 7-fight parlay?
Think about it, right? Like, more than enough to where if you lose every other parlay you make, and you lose 1 or 2 of the fights even on your round robin, you are at least likely to break even. Now, obviously, well, it's not obvious, but I'm going to say this. I don't encourage anybody to gamble. I think that gambling is responsible for a lot of just fuckery and like, just general, like, social decay, but I do gamble. I've done very well gambling, and I am what you would call a semi-professional gambler. It's not what I do for a living. People on MMA Guru's chat who have Googled my name and probably even tried to figure shit out about my life know that, actually. But regardless, anyway, my friend's telling me we gotta wrap. Yeah, he's got real shit to do, well, actually I shouldn't say. He gets into some shit, but
so round robins and parlays, don't bet straight on the
don't make straight bets,
don't gamble at all if you don't know what you're doing.
Well, I mean, people who don't know what they're doing are gonna gamble anyway. If you're gonna gamble, you're gonna gamble, right? I mean, I don't encourage it but definitely do not bet over-unders.
And don't use these picks as financial advice.
If you are gonna gamble,
don't blame. Don't blame us don't blame Gio if these picks don't hit this week.
Gio is a nickname for Julianna. Yeah. So I mean, you can blame me all you want. I mean, I'm sure I'll take some heat if, let's say fucking...
If Roundtree wins.
If Roundtree wins, bro, everybody... Dude, Dana White... Dude, Alex Pereira is going to get the most heat. Seriously.
Yeah.
Fucking goddamn. That honestly, I don't know what Roundtree has in his head right now. I mean...
he probably thinks he's gonna win, dude. He is a competitive guy,
I mean, is he though? I mean, he could have. I feel like he could have finished Anthony Smith with a little bit more effort sooner in that fight, but
yeah,
I don't know. I mean, he just seems like he he just knows. He's just like, well, I mean, maybe he just figures. I mean, maybe that's what he needs. Maybe that's what he needs to feel like he doesn't give a fuck. Like, you know, he's not gonna try to carefully not, you know, get knocked out.
Crazier things have happened, but.
I mean.
But anyway, do you want to summarize what you did and then wrap it up? Or?
Yeah. So all right, just to go back over my picks from the early prelims up through the main event. Tim Means beats Court McGee. I say Tecia Pennington beats Carla Esparza. I'm gonna take Ryan Spann over OSP. I'm taking Cesar Almeida to beat Potieria, definitely. Yeah. I'm taking Austin Hubbard over Hernandez because fuck Hernandez, and also, I mean, I've analyzed that too. But Iasmin Lucindo over Marina Rodriguez. I may regret that, but you know, Joaquin Buckley probably, almost certainly beats Wonder Boy Stephen Thompson.
And you got Holland.
I got Kevin Holland beating Roman Dolidze. Possibly regrettable, but probably not. I do have a closer one. I do have faith in Kevin Holland at middleweight. Kayla Harrison beating Ketlen Vieira is almost like just. I mean, you know, it's you count on that shit like.
And so you're going. You're going with Bautista.
Going with Bautista and Pena. I mean, now Bautista versus Aldo. That's probably. If I regret any pick, because I'm wrong, it would be Aldo versus Bautista. But I think Bautista may be the person at bantamweight, you know, who's not in the top 10.
Fucking old. So, I mean, excuse my language, but it's just old.
I've been cursing this whole time, dude.
Yeah. All right.
I think Pena dethrones Raquel Pennington.
And obviously Pereira.
And. And so beyond obviously Pereira that it's almost like they tied up Ankalaev with the Rakic fight at 308, knowing that they didn't have a main event and might have to tap Alex Pereira.
For sure.
All right, so all the videos, Jesus Christ.
He's gonna post this on his channel, and you guys can.
Yeah, you can watch it. Stop giving me shit for not posting things. And or actually no, I mean
shit in the comments. And,
please give it all to me. Because it hurts me so much when you guys tell me tell me.
He likes it when you
I do.
It's
You
funny.
know, my parents forgot to pay.
He stole his dad's.
Stole my dad's credit card. Except I'm a pay, dude.
You should see his OnlyFans.
Dude, my dick's hard right now just thinking about.
No.
But one person, gray shirt.
Oh no, he's got gray shirt. It's a good clip channel.
Is it?
There's a better one. There's better ones, but you know.
Yeah. So anyway.
But he's kind of a dick, right?
Dude, gray shirt.
It's funny though.
Gray shirt is the one person that I really hope comments on my shit because. This fucking guy is like, he's a parasitic, bottom-feeding sociopath with, like, you know, with the balls to snipe any comment or donation that I make on MMA Guru's chat. Like, you know, it's just the balls on you, little bro. It's like, I mean, no, it's like, he's genuinely upset. Like, his emotions have been triggered. You can tell. Everybody else, fuck it. It's the fucking internet. I don't But, anyway, thank you to MMA Guru for, telling me I should make videos. Obviously,
for being he's funny. He's
a
based dude.
MMA Guru, you're based. Though I am ahead of you on picks this year, I don't think that means that you're not good for the sport. I am certainly not. This is a side thing for me, if that, and I continue to be an influence that's good for the sport. So, with that, everybody just enjoy UFC 307 if it's possible. 308 will be better.